Hey everyone, Wayne Fox with a quick video about cleaning your Sony sensor. The other day I watched a video by Tony Northrup, and it was the 5 things I hate about Sony. And even though he's a Sony shooter, or shoots quite a bit, I guess he shoots everything. But the things he talked about are really, they're pretty well laid out. I mean, there's some things about Sony cameras that are quite aggravating, despite how good they are for a lot of things. And one of the things he complained about with the A7R4 was the sensor dust. Now, it's kind of normal that a mirrorless camera gets a little more sensor dust. For some reason, the shutter is always open, and when you change the lens, I don't know why Sony doesn't have it when you push the release to change the lens. That doesn't close the shutter, and then when you put the lens back on, it opens the shutter, or when you put the lens cap back on. Seems like that would be really logical. But anyway, the sensor's exposed. But he says even when he's shooting it without changing the lenses, he has trouble. And coincidentally enough, a friend of mine was borrowing my camera, my A7R4, to go shoot some family portraits. And when he brought it back, he said, "Man, your sensor's really dirty." I thought, "Oh, great. Now I got to clean the sensor," which of course isn't fun. It's a little bit of a pain. So let me just show you real quick what he had and kind of give you the starting point. So this is the setup that he was using. He had a white background. He was doing some high key stuff. And you can see, I'm in Adobe Camera Raw. You can see there's a lot of really bad blobs. I don't know what this stuff is over here. If you can see on the TV, there's these gray lines. If I go to the brush to, or to the spot removal tool, and I turn visualize spots on, you can see it's even worse. There's a lot of spots there that you can't see on this white background that might show up on a darker background, or like in a blue sky. That's really where they annoy me the most. So anyway, that's what was my starting point. Now, I got the Eclipse fluid out and the pads, and I was going to clean it, but I thought there was another problem I was trying to find, how to change what files went to on each card. And another annoying thing I found out is you can only view one or the other card. And I got to figure that out, because I can't figure out if I've got it set to view card 1, I don't know how to view card 2. Anyway, another story there. So anyway, while I was messing around, I found this menu command that said cleaning mode. Now, in most DSLRs, the cleaning mode, really all it does is open up the shutter and pop up the mirror so you can get to the sensor to clean it. And I thought, well, you know, most of these cameras have a sensor cleaning mechanism that when you turn the camera on, it vibrates the sensor to get the dust off. And it's just automatic. Every time you turn it on, or, you know, it does it. And I thought, well, what's this cleaning mode? I've never seen it before. I thought, well, I'm going to look it up in the manual. Because I said, I must have, you know, I don't read manuals, let's be honest. I've been doing this a long time. I shoot manual mode. I don't even use the exposure controls. I just adjust the exposure till I'm just below clipping. And I thought, okay, well, I probably ought to figure out what that does, because it didn't make any sense to me, because all you have to do to get to the sensor in a Sony is turn the camera off and take the lens off, and the sensor's right there. So I get to the menu, and it says this nice little command. I go to the manual. I figure there's a section about it. All it says is cleaning mode, and it says activate the cleaning mode. What is the cleaning mode? No explanation of what the cleaning mode was or what it did. Asked a couple people that know Sony, and they said they didn't even know it was there. And so I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to push the button and see what it does. Let me just grab it and let me show you what it does. So this is my A7R3, and if I turn it on and I go to the menu, and you'll see this cleaning mode, and when I push the button, it says performs auto image sensor cleaning. What? Auto sensor cleaning? I've never heard of that with a Sony. Now, if I go to that and enter it, I want you to listen to this. I mean, this thing is like really vibrating. Now, I thought that what that was doing was using the image stability system that was in the A7R4 and the A7R3, and that's what was shaking the sensor, because I assumed it was only in those cameras, and then I found out it's in my A7R. So this cleaning mode surprised me. I thought, well, I'm going to try it, and I did it. And before I got the Eclipse pad out and clean out that, let me just shoot a shot and see how much good that did. So let me go over here in Lightroom and show you the shot I took after doing that function one time. Here we are in Lightroom, and this is the shot after one time, and there's just really nothing at all on this sensor. And if I go to the develop module and turn on dust spot removal, and I turn visualize spots on, there is not a single dust spot on this sensor from one cleaning mode in the Sony. I was dumbfounded. I said, why isn't anybody talking about this? Why in the world doesn't it do it every time you turn the camera on? Now, I need to find that out because I can't believe that. I know Sony does some really illogical things sometimes. Their menu system is the most illogical mess I've ever seen. They really need some human interface people in there helping them with their software. But the bottom line is, this should do it every time unless there's some mechanical reason. Now, the one thing I do know is that thing is vibrating way more than I've ever felt an Nikon vibrate or other cameras vibrate, because they're using what they're calling ultrasonic cleaning. And this thing sounds like something in there is really shaking. It obviously works really well. So before you grab the Eclipse liquid and the pads when you got Sony, if you see some dust spots, do that. I'm going to research it more and see if there's a reason you can't do it frequently. It doesn't say anything about the manual about not doing it very often. I can't see anything about a problem. I don't know if maybe over time they're afraid it's going to shake the sensor so much that it'll get out of alignment, because that's pretty critical. But, anyway, I know there's a lot of Sony shooters out there. I've asked at least 6 of them if they've heard of it before, and not a single one's heard of it. We clean cameras at my store. We're a Sony dealer. We've been selling Sony a long time. None of my guys that clean the sensors had ever heard of it or realized it was there, because really it's not, all it is that one little spot in the manual. So hopefully those that shoot Sony, I don't know what other cameras it works on. I guess it might work on some of the A6000 or 6500s. I'll have to check those. But anyway, those that are shooting the A series, I assume it's on the A7s, A7Rs, and probably the A9s. Maybe it'll get rid of some of that dust problem that you've had, or at least make it better. I know that if you're just getting it ready to do a shoot, might be a good thing to pop that thing and hit that cleaning mode. I'm going to see if I can move that cleaning mode into one of my own menus. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or you know any more about this and can give me some information, give me a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So I've got doing this a lot more now because I've been retired. And it's if you want to see more of my videos, just make sure you hit the bell icon. So anyway, till next time, hey, thanks for watching. See ya.